Be March Boxing back at it with another stream. It was good boxing heads and fight fans around the world. Boy, this man Tank Davis, I tell you, man, Tank Davis, man, this guy's a character, man. This guy's an actor. You know what I mean? This guy's nothing but an actor. You know what I mean? He's not a show improved guy. He's just a guy who loves to use his Twitter fingers. You know what I mean? That's what he does best. He does that actually better than fighting in the ring. And anybody who can show me facts that he's not a better Twitter fingers than he is in the ring, please send me links. Please send me the facts. That's a pure fact. Straight up and down. Tank Davis is a better Twitter fingers guy. Runs his mouth on Twitter than he does that better than he does his boxing in the ring. Who does he even fight in the ring? Liam Walsh? That's who he fights. That guy that what's his name fought a few weeks ago. What's that guy's name? What's that guy? Tevin Farmer. That guy he fought. I can't even remember dude's name. The dude that Tank Davis hit with a rabbit punch after the bell on that Mayweather McGregor undercard. You see, Tank Davis, man, I'm tired of this guy. I've been tired. I've seen him live. I've seen him fight at least 3 times. I've been seeing some fights since like 2013, and I'm still not sold on the guy. I'm sorry, I can't be. How could I? You know what I mean? You know what he does? This guy tries to keep it safe, right? Tries to play it safe by talking ish to everybody and anybody who's not in his division. You know what I mean? Anybody but Lomachenko. You know what I mean? That's what gets me pissed about this guy. This guy got the nerve to say guys like Deontay Wilder fights like a girl. He got the nerve to be talking trash with Terrence Crawford. And I'm not going to go back and forth to what he was talking trash about to Terrence Crawford. You know what I mean? You check it. Terrence Crawford will fold this little kid. He'll fold him into a suitcase and stuff him in that suitcase and ship him off to the 410 Baltimore where he came from. You know what I mean? Tired of Tank Davis, man. The guy does a lot of nothing. When they mention the man Lomachenko named to Tank Davis, he'd be stuttering. Call that man Stutterbox. 1224529. What's good, sis? How you feeling, girl? Thanks for coming through to the chat. Just had to air out this kid they called Gervonta Tank Davis one time. You know what I mean? The guy has more Twitter beefs, more Twitter finger moments than any current boxer, and the guy don't fight nobody. You know what I'm saying? The guy doesn't fight nobody, man. The best name on his resume is that Puerto Rican kid, Jose Pedraza. You know what I mean? This guy Tank Davis doesn't even want to fight Tevin Farmer. You know what I'm saying? What part of the game is that? 122545529 says I'm blessed, family. I'm blessed too, man. Give thanks, man. Happy New Year to you and your family. Hope you bring in the New Year well and enjoy the New Year's festivities. I'm gonna be keeping it chilly chill. You know what I mean? Just reflect on 2018. You know, try to set some goals for 2019, and hopefully, God willing, accomplish them by the grace of God. You already know. Dylan Gallagher, what's good, son? I see you in the chat. Dylan Gallagher says he's like boxing version of Soldier Boy. Facts. He's like Soldier Boy, exactly. You know what I'm saying? This guy would do well in the WWF, you know what I mean? Wouldn't even have to fight nobody. Just fight a couple stiffs. You know what I'm saying? 1224529 says Tang needs to be active so he doesn't stay in trouble. Yeah, the guy only fought once in 2018, you know what I mean? He fought the Jesus Cuela guy. Guy was coming off like a 11th month layoff. A guy who got dropped and lost to Abner Mares in his last fight, which was at, I believe, 126 at featherweight. You know what I'm saying? And that's who Tank Davis is fighting next. Yet again, another smaller guy coming up in weight. Come on, man. Tank Davis, man, like, you can fool all these people on social media, people who see you hit hard and might knock out a stiff that we already know that's what you're about to do, but you can't impress me, kiddo. I've been watching you since the DC Armory, man, DC Armory days. They don't even do fights no more at the DC Armory, and I wasn't impressed, you know what I mean? I've seen I've seen lower tier guys tagged the man Tank Davis, and the only thing that bailed the man out, Tank Davis, was his power. You know what I mean? You check it because Tank Davis is the type of dude who blows up to probably 180 pounds when he's not fighting. Then he got to shrink down to 130. That's why he lost his world title on the scales. And then the WBA, they think people like us, or at least they think I'm stupid, which I'm not, because I already see what they did with Jezreel Corrales and Machado. Machado was the super champ. This lineage, I've never seen anything like this happen before, you know what I mean, with the WBA. They demoted the man, Albert Machado, who beat Jezreel Corrales, who was the super champ with the WBA, and they gave Tank Davis, a guy coming off the couch after 11 months in Jesus Cuela. They put him in the ring for the vacant WBA super title. Like I didn't just see the underdog, Albert Machado, an underdog, knock out the super champ, Jezreel Corrales. When has Tank Davis ever been, excuse me, when has he ever been an underdog? That's what I want to know. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's one thing to be fighting all these Hispanics, you know what I'm saying? It brings good money, black dude versus Hispanic dude. They've been doing this since my guy Mark Too Sharp Johnson used to go out to the West Coast and fight up and beat up a lot of Mexicans. Actually beat them all, except when he started getting older, losing guys to like Johnny Gonzalez and Rafael Marquez. That was an older Too Sharp Johnson, you know what I mean? By that stage, he was already solidified and stamped, the youngest man to ever make it to the Hall of Fame, straight out of D.C. You know, so it's nothing new. Roger Mayweather, the Mexican killer, the Mexicutioner, he was doing that from a long time. I get it. That's what Floyd Mayweather. Actually, go look at Floyd Mayweather's biggest purses, biggest dates, his biggest boxing days, of course, been on the Mexican days, and then him versus a Hispanic. You know what I mean? So I get why they fighting Tank Davis. But you're not gonna tell me that's the only Hispanic they could find or Mexican. How about a guy named Miguel Burchalt, who's actually in your division? How about that? How about that guy, WBC champ? Miguel Burchalt hasn't been struggling in his title defenses, man. He's been looking good, man. Why don't you challenge yourself, Tank Davis? You know what I mean? You might still be the favorite to win that fight. But we'll never know, man, because Tank is content on fighting guys like the Liam Walshes of the world, Jesus Cuela, Abdamaris, a guy who I used to watch at bantamweight, 118 pounds. And don't be surprised, ladies and gents. Look, Abdamaris and Mikey Garcia, they think they see something in these black fighters in Errol Spence and Tank Davis. That's what they said. I see something that I could actually, you know, capitalize on and upset the apple cart. So they say. We shall find out. I personally think these are two bad matchups. You know what I mean? I think the bigger fighters, being Errol Spence and Tank Davis, they're gonna get the victory. I just seen the man, Abner Maris, lose sometime this year to Leo Santa Cruz twice. You know, he's lost to him twice, and that fight wasn't even competitive. The first fight was competitive. The second one, not so much. It was over by the second or third round. I seen it. Wasn't nothing this kid, Abner Maris, was going to do with Leo Santa Cruz. You know what I'm saying? Better yet, man, if you scared of fighting guys like Miguel Burchard at 130, why don't you fight a guy that Miguel Burchard beat and a long-time guy in the 130-pound division, Francisco Vargas? That'd be an excellent fight, you know what I mean? It sure not be a better fight than the Tank Davis's Jesus Cuelas. What's that guy he fought, the Costa Rican guy that somebody in the chat could please remind me. The dude Tevin Farmer fought 2-3 weeks ago, and he's the same guy. He's a Costa Rican guy. He's the same guy that Tank Davis fought on the Mayweather McGregor undercard. If you remember the name, please put that in the chat. All right. 1225429 says, Happy New Year's to you and yours. Health, prosperity, and peace to you and your family. Give thanks. I appreciate that. Thanks for the kind words. Same to you. Same as well to you. 1225429 says, it's all politics. Facts. All politics. The problem is these networks are not working with each other too. Whoa, that fight would be a nightmare. What fight would be a nightmare? 1225429. What fight you talking about? Because I probably mentioned enough fights I can't even remember what I was talking about. Oh, the guy you can't remember the guy's name. That Costa Rican guy. It's escaping my mind right now. It doesn't matter anyways. He lost both fights. You know what I mean? He lost to Tank Davis and he lost to Tevin Farmer. You know what I mean? But really and truly, that Tevin Farmer fight would be massive at the MGM National Harbor in Oxon Hill, Maryland, PG County. That fight would be massive. The whole Baltimore and Philadelphia will be down here in Oxon Hill in the DC Maryland area. They will come out. You know what I'm saying? That'd be a massive fight. You know what I mean? Both guys attended. You seen that little, that little scuffle they had. Not really scuffle, but that heated confrontation Tank Davis and Tevin Farmer had at the MGM National Harbor, Oxon Hill, Maryland, PG County, when Lomachenko defeated Jason Sosa at the MGM National Harbor. That's where they stage the fight. You know what I mean? People show up. People come from all out of town to come and gamble at that new beautiful MGM. You know what I mean? So Tank Davis, man, is a disappointment, man. I said it before, I say it again. This guy's going to be AB 2.0. Matter of fact, the guy fought the Asian guy. That would be a nightmare. I can't remember his name. You talking about Miguel Burchout. He fought the Japanese dude. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You must be talking about Miguel Burchout because he beat the Mexican dude, no, the Japanese, Takashi Miura. Tank Davis, I can guarantee you, will not get in the ring with no Takashi Miura. I'm trying to tell you that right now. That's out the question. You know, that's out the question. Look, a guy like Tank Davis, these guys are what's wrong with boxing. He's trying to wait for a man like Lomachenko to get old and look vulnerable. And I bet you that's when he's going to jump up and want to take that fight. Because every time they bring up Lomachenko name, he be stuttering. The first night that Tank Davis, excuse me, Tank Davis won his world title versus Pedraza. I said on my video, man, I'd love for and this was when Lomachenko was at 130. On my post-fight review, I said, Tank Davis, man, this guy could actually be a star. That was a star-studded performance he beat Jose Pedraza with. This guy could be a star. Next thing for him is to try to be on the pound for pound list. You know what I mean? What would make it sweeter? It would be sweet if he could go up there, not even go up anywhere. Fight the man Lomachenko, who was at the time in your division. You knock him off, you probably gonna be number one, number two. No, nothing less than number three pound for pound as of right now. You would be, because you would have knocked off a guy on the pound for pound list. I said that these Gervonta Davis and Floyd Mayweather fanatics, they came in my comment section trying to flame me up like, leave Tank Davis alone. He's too young for Lomachenko. Let him enjoy his world title. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm not cut from that kind of cloth. You check it. Once you're a world champion, ain't no more tune-ups, ain't no more gimmies, ain't no more marinating nothing. You're a world champion. You know what I'm saying? There's no more baby in you. Case in point, the Mexican American guy from Oxnard. What was his name? What's his name? Fernando Vargas. This guy was a champion at 19 years old, dogs. This guy, all he did was fight guys like De La Hoya and Winky Wright and Mosley and Mayorga and just classic fights back to back to back to back. Yeah, the guy retired at 33 years old. He lost almost all those big fights. I thought he lost to Winky Wright. They ain't give it to Winky Wright. But at the end of the day, the guy was challenging himself. You know what I mean? The guy was trying to be the best he could be. You know what I'm saying? So don't give me that Tank Davis stuff is too young, man. If he's too young, man, he needs to go seek another profession. You know what I'm saying? Go work in a safe environment where your age will not be exposed. You know what I'm saying? Or you won't be vulnerable as far as your age. This is boxing. If you're a world champion, which in my opinion, as of right now, he's not, I consider Albert Machado the real champ. You know what I'm saying? So fellas like Tank Davis, to me, he's just a joke, man. You know what I'm saying? This fight with Abner Maris, look, if Abner Maris could upset the apple cart, that'd be great for boxing. So be it. he'll have fooled me because I'm picking Tank Davis to beat him. You know what I'm saying? Tank Davis, a guy who struggles to make 130 pounds, a guy who probably walks around 180 to 190 pounds, fighting a guy who was a career bantamweight, a guy who came up to 122 and got knocked out by Johnny Gonzalez, old Johnny Gonzalez. He got knocked out by old Johnny Gonzalez. Then he ran out the division and went up to 126, which was the safe haven at the time for guys like Frampton, Leo Santa Cruz, Scott Quigg, and one more guy, Frampton, Scott Quigg, Leo Santa Cruz, and of course Abner Maris. They went up there, they safe haven to stay away from 122 where Rigondeaux was at. Abner Maris just followed suit. You know what I mean? So this is a guy who I've seen knocked out at 122. What's he gonna do at 130? I've never seen Abner Maris at 130. You know what I mean? So all right, where was I at? Red Eye 00. Francisco Fonseca, exactly. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Yeah, the Costa Rica guy, Francisco Fonseca. Yeah, that's the guy. I mean, those are the kind of guys Tank Davis wants to fight. Liam Walsh. Abner Maris, just because he has a name, it's going to be over there in Los Angeles, where he's from. Los Angeles, it's going to be another black and Hispanic affair. It's going to bring money, good revenue. It's going to probably bring out a good crowd. But that ain't the type of fight I want to see. I'd rather see him fight Francisco Vargas, a guy who has losses, but will test this guy to the max. You know what I mean? Tank ain't never fought no real Mexican on world level, on any world level stage neither. Let's get that correct as of right now. Forget fighting a brother. He ain't fought no live Mexican yet. And I think I know what's gonna happen when that do if and when that does happen. 122544529 says Mercado is good test to is a is a is a good test too, like you stated. Yeah, no question. Machado, man, that young Puerto Rican can crack, man. He's still mad raw, very raw. Tank Davis might probably beat him, but he could probably knock Tank out too. This guy got stupid power, man. You seen what he's doing on his title defenses, man. Fellas ain't lasted with Machado. 1225429 says the lower weights prime is different than heavyweights. Tank gotta get it in now. To be honest, the lower weights, I'd say probably from bantamweight down, those type of guys when they reach 30, they done, man. They done. They done. There ain't no prime fighters in the flyweights, super flyweight divisions. Anything lower from 100 from minimum weight till bantamweight. They don't come in the 30-year-old packages. Rigondeaux's an exception, you know what I mean? Rigondeaux's an exception, being an elite fighter at an advanced age. But for the most parts, even guys like Ricardo Lopez retired undefeated, but he ain't retired in his 40s. He retired early, you know what I mean? Guys like Michael Carbajal, them fellas, man, by the time he was in his 30s, he was on his way out the game, you know what I mean? Let me see what else y'all talking about in the chat. We live, eat, sleep, boxing. Was good, Chris? Caban in the building. Caban, we live, eat, sleep, boxing says, Tank sell weed for Rayful Edmonds' nephew in Southeast. Yeah, he probably do, man. Or he probably got his boy slanging dope in Baltimore for him, man. You know what I'm saying? You try to get a supplement his income, you know what I mean? Because, Baltimore, man, that's a heroin capital of USA. You know what I mean? That's one city where kingpins, guys turn kingpins overnight. When one guy gets knocked out, gets thrown in the slammer, gets fed time, there's going to be a new guy to, you know what I mean, take his position. I don't know no city in the United States that produces more arrested kingpins or fellas really getting it like Baltimore. It's an everyday occurrence. I see it all the time on the news. You know what I mean? And that's where Tank Davis actually was training at. He wasn't training in Vegas. He been training in Baltimore for his fight coming up. MBT boxing was good. B says was good. B Marsh was good with you, MBT. Long time no see, man. You know what I'm saying? How you feeling, man? Hope all is well. Hope you have a great and happy new year over there in the land down under, you know what I mean? Put us on to what some upcoming fights, you know what I'm saying? Last I seen, I think, was that Jeff Horn versus Moondine. That shit didn't even last long. But, it is what it is, man. Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming through. Um, where we at? Tank not a okay. We live eat sleep boxing says Tank not a fighter. He won the wife 1999 hip hop ducks. Yep, he ain't trying to fight nobody, man. And they gonna say his age and stuff like that. You remember Floyd Mayweather when he was wearing that tablecloth? He was wearing a tablecloth for a shirt, and he had buttoned it all the way to the top. That jam was choking him. The night that when Tank Davis beat Jose Pedraza, that man talking about Tank. We're not worried about Lomachenko. Lomachenko over there on top rank, he could stay over there. He got not. You see stuff like that. Okay, man. Stuff like that. When Tank already hears that, he's already said, "Hey, my boss said I don't gotta fight him, so I ain't gotta fight him." You know what I mean? Shiz Biz, what's happening, big man? He says, "Big up, B Marsh. Big ups to you, big man. Thanks for coming through, Mr. Doc. What's happening, Mr. Doc? Thanks for coming through. Mr. Doc says, I know what Myers is going to do at 130. Get knocked the F out. LOL. Yeah, yeah. But, there's also a possibility, and it's highly unlikely, because I think Abner Myers' best days, come on, man, after that Johnny Gonzalez fight, I ain't never looked at him the same. And some of his biggest wins, matter of fact, really and truly, his biggest win before that, sure, he beat Victor Archinian. Great. That was a good, I'll probably say, um, I'll give him credit for the Vic Darchinyan. I gave it to him, but he punched him in the Bozak so many times. You know what I mean? Um, I'll probably say before that, the biggest names on his resume are guys like Anselmo Moreno. You know what I mean? And that's when he was at 122. Um, Mares and Moreno came up from 118, came from bantamweight. That was his biggest name up to that point. Like the best he had looked, his best performance, no cheating, no low blows or nothing like he did to Ugbeko. You know, so I agree with you, Mr. Doc. I don't see nothing less than him getting knocked the f out, man. I mean, if I thought that Abner Maris could even slightly outbox Leo Santa Cruz, I would consider him maybe having a chance to win. But the matchmakers, they know what they doing. They know exactly what they doing when they got Tank Davis fighting Abner Maris. Okay, MBT Boxing says Tank should have been disqualified for that Francesco fight. People blatantly ignoring that. I agree, man. The man hit him after the bell, man. A rabbit punch. You know, they weren't gonna disqualify him on the biggest night of his career on that Floyd Mayweather McGregor undercard. But I agree with you. That fight was foul, man. And the man had lost the title on the scales. He was bigger than the dude. Red Eyes 00 says, when is Teofimo gonna get that shot? Teofimo's a 130 pounder. If he is, hey, I'd love to see that, man. I think also Ryan Garcia, the Mexican American kid who's on Golden Boy stable. I think he's a 130 pounder too, if I am mistaken. But then again, these guys still got work to do. You know what I mean? Um, Teofimo though, he could possibly give Tank some work. You know what I mean? Got an extensive amateur background. So do Tank too, though. But he went a little further as far as his amateur background going to the Olympics. Already, where we at? Um, we live, eat, sleep boxing. Chris Cabas says Tank versus Maris is a big Dawsa fight. Yeah, man. All right, it's a big Dawsa, man. Tank is the big Dawsa. He's gonna be much bigger than the kid Abner Maris. I'm trying to tell you, man. And he has youth on his side too. Tank do. Um, Mr. Doc is saying to MBT, Francesco was giving him trouble prior to that as well. He was. MBT Boxing said, Mr. Doc, you ain't lying. Had it 4-3 after 7. Tank was frustrated and desperate. Yeah, the guy probably didn't train. He probably was eating at all them crab cakes in Baltimore. Crab cakes with Old Bay seasoning. That's what he was eating. That's why he's so big. 1225429 says Rigo is well preserved. Yeah, he is. Rigo's also a guy who's not very active, so he got a lot of time to preserve his body. You know what I mean? But he will be fighting on that Uska Tagay versus Caleb Plant undercard. I believe that's like that's probably the first real fight for the new year for 2019. It's going to be on a Sunday on Fox. I can't wait for that. Not Fox, Big Fox, but Fox Sports 1. I can't wait for that, man. I've seen Uskar Gay fight live, and that was one of the best nights in my life watching boxing. That atmosphere in the MGM Grand was crazy. When when Darrell uncle sucker punched Uskar Gay, man, it was crazy up in that piece, man. I'll never forget that. You know what I mean? I think Uskar Tagay gonna beat Caleb Plant too. But anyways, that's for another video. Guillermo Rigondeaux will be on that undercard. Good to see him, and that'll probably be in like we shall be able to see Rigondeaux on our TV sets in about a little over 2 weeks. Can't wait. As you guys might know, Rigondeaux is probably is probably my favorite boxer. I mean, Adonis Stevenson, one of my favorites too. I love Southpaws. Always have. Hagglers and Purnell, those are my all time favorite boxers of all time. I love the Southpaw stance. I mean, um, Mr. Doc says to we live, eat, sleep boxing. Tank, Dorsa picking. That man Tank is a big Dorsa. He's a big Dorsa, man. Battle rifle was good. Battle rifle in the chat says Tank need to fight Machado since he stole from him. That's the fight. You see, if the WBA had any integrity, had any morals, and had any cojones, they would say, Tank, dude, you've already lost the belt on the scales. We're not gonna demote Alba Machado just because you're the quote unquote future up and coming talent. No, fight this guy. If you're the real deal, fight Machado. Whoever wins that fight will be the WBA super champ. But the WBA ain't about who finding out who's the best. Who they're not about who the best fighter is and wanting to know who the best is fighting the best. That's not what they're about. Because if they were, they wouldn't have put Povetkin as a roadblock for Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. That's for a whole nother story, and I could make a whole video about all the WBA transgressions. To me, they the worst sanctioning body organization in boxing. Damn shame, because they're even the oldest sanctioning body in the world. But these guys, I remember 2-3 years ago, we had a conversation with Naota Boxing TV, big ups to him, and he was telling me how the WBA is trying to eliminate some of these regular titles and interims. I said, all right, I'll believe it when I see it. 2019, we're going into 2019 and ain't nothing changed. Go look at the featherweight division. The man Santa Cruz is super champ. Abner Maris was the regular champ, or the world champ, excuse me. The guy, Santa Cruz beats Mares. That should eliminate that world belt he has. No, what did the WBA do? They gave this Filipino dude who fought on Manny Pacquiao versus Matisse undercard, and I like the kid. I think he's fighting sometime soon. Some dude named Jack somebody, a Filipino. They let this guy have a kind of WBA featherweight world belt or a regular belt. And there's also an interim belt at featherweight with the WBA. Come on, man. The WBA don't want to know who the best is. The WBA just wants more money from these belts and sanctioning fees. That's what they all about. And Battle Rifle, I agree with you 100%. Tank should have said, I don't want nobody else other than Albert Machado. But Tank, those type of guys are nowhere close to his radar. The type of guys on his radar are Liam Walsh. What's that Costa Rican kid? Somebody put it up in the chat. Red Eye said Francisco Fonseca, those type of guys. Who else did he fight? Jesus Cuela, coming up in weight. I mean, a guy who was on the couch for like 11 months. Those are the type of guys you want to fight. You know what I mean? Fellas think what they did in early 2017 counts for anything in 20 going into 2019. Just like they keep bringing up Errol Spence victory over Kell Brook over there in England. Man, that was a massive win for when it happened. But these type of things have an expiration date. After 8 months or after your next fight, if you're not doing anything in significance of what you did as far as Errol Spence to Kell Brook in England, then you ain't done nothing for me lately, man. And even fighting Mikey Garcia is not what I'm about. You know what I mean? That's not doing anything for me. So it's not what it's what have you done for me lately, not what you did 2, 3 years ago. Alrighty, where we at? MBT Boxer says, same to you and your loved ones, brother. Same to you, man. Appreciate that. Mr. Doc is in the chat. He says, yeah, I still don't get how the WBA just takes the real title from Machado and give it to Tank, and Tank never has to fight Machado. Tank never mentions that guy. Machado has. He's mentioned him. There's videos on YouTube saying, yeah, that's some BS what they did. But he says everybody knows who's the real champ. Well, don't assume that, Machado. A lot of people are fanatics and fanboys, and they will ignore you. They'll act like you don't exist to hype up Tank Davis. Because Tank Davis got the shines, got the big Cuban links. Tank Davis got the Bentley. You know what I'm saying? Tank Davis is we've seen him with women like Trina. Trina's like 40. She at least got like 17 years on the kid, you know what I mean? These type of things are what the Tank Davis fans know about. I bet you they can't say whom he even beat to get that world title. The one world title he had achieved. You know what I mean? MBT boxing. Mundai want a rematch. He ain't lied. He said that wasn't me in the ring. Yeah, okay. That wasn't you, man. Whatever. MBT Boxer says, no, Mr. Doc says to MBT, was the money that good? LOL. MBT Boxer says, Mr. Doc, 4 mil guaranteed each. Damn, Mundine and Jeff Horn made 4 million each. That's US dollars or Australian? If they did, man, that's good for them. I'm all about boxers getting the most money they can get. That's what I'm about. I'm not for boxers getting lowballed, getting ripped off, or getting thrown, being done like what Bob Arum did to Jose Pedraza. Man, the man beats Beltran in Arizona, Phoenix, in Beltran's hometown, on upset. Then the man Jose Pedraza has no choice. They put a gun to his head and said, you got to unify with Lomachenko. The man can't even get a title defense or nothing. He wasn't even supposed to beat Beltran. I didn't even know who was going to win that fight. I'm not going to lie. That's why I didn't do a prediction. So, that's exactly what Top Rank did, man. So, like I said, I'm all about fighters getting the most they can. You know what I mean? I'm not with that. How Nicholas Walters was on the shelf from December of when was it 2015, and he fought Lomachenko in November of 2011. They kept that man on the shelf, waited for that man to eat all that Panamanian and Jamaican food, jerk chicken and all that, everything he eats. The man ballooned up in weight. That's when they offered him to fight. And instead of making, what was it? I think the man wanted to make was shooting for like 500 to 700K. Lomachenko and them, they gave him what they were first initially trying to offer him, which was 300K. The man Walters ain't fought since. Don't be surprised if that 300K, if he ain't invest, that 300K is gone by now. Life is expensive, man. One time I was calculating how much I spent for the year just on bills, maybe food on average. Man, and it's crazy, man. If I ain't had to spend $1 out of all that money that I spent for the year, whether it's on bills, everything, quality of life, man, I'd be a millionaire 5 years ago. Let's keep it moving. All right, where we at in the chat? Mr. Doc says MBT says to MBT, LOL. Okay, yeah, I'd want a rematch too. Hell yeah, for $4 million. Let's do it again. Yeah, I mean, MBT Boxer says 3 seconds Fonseca was down in rabbit punch. Disgraceful. That was bad, man. And like you said, MBT, a lot of people ignored that because the Fonseca guy was a guy nobody's going to remember or care of. You know what I mean? Mr. Doc says to be Marsh Boxing. You catch the Freshmar versus Inouye fight this morning? I thought Glenn Inouye got punched up. I didn't see it. I did not see it. I saw the second one. I saw the second one with what's that guy's name? The 130 guy versus that Russian dude. Masayako Itu or something. I saw that one. I didn't see in CP Freshman, but I heard he lost. I was he like 48-0. I gotta see that fight. MBT Boxer says Tevin Farmer. Farmer dominated the first half, had it a shutout, but Farmer has stamina issues too. Yeah, he was getting touched up by Fonseca in the second half of that fight. You know what I mean? I could see where the stamina issues. The man had his hands low, and the guy looked like he was just fighting on fumes. You ain't lying, MBT. Facts. MBT says too much body movement. True indeed. Mr. Doc says to MBT Boxer, yep, that was a good fight. Farmer had to adjust and fight Fonseca in the pocket. At range, Fonseca was giving him fits. Yeah, he was. He did. We live, eat, sleep, boxing, says AB and Tank arguing over who going to get the biggest diamond chain and not return it. I can guarantee both of them fellas, all them shines they got. If AB ain't paying back if AB still got to lease his shines. I know the man. What's his name? Tank Davis, man. He owed the jeweler too. You know what I mean? Both of these guys, man. These guys are a disgrace, man. One thing about jewelry, man. Don't lease, rent, or put down payments on jewelry. Don't do that. Just buy your shines one time and just leave the store. You don't owe nobody. It's yours. If you want to sell it, you could sell it. Because, look, let's say you have a 1 year plan to pay that off. You're going to be wearing that chain. You're going to even see bigger and better chains on other people or even in jewelry stores. You're going to want them shines. You're not going to be satisfied with yours. And you still got to pay for it. And now you're going to be disgruntled like, damn. You might even go you might even go to another jewelry store and get another chain on the same type of plan. And then before you know it, you got debt for some shines on your neck that you got from the mall, and the mall be the mall be ripping you off, you know what I'm saying? The mall ripping you off, you know what I mean? And you still got to pay him. So my advice, don't do that. Don't be like AB. If you're going to buy a chain, or any kind of jewelry, just pay your cash money up front. And if you're a smart jewelry shopper, in a year or even 6 months, if you go back and sell that chain, you should get some kind of profit. The way the jewelry stores in the malls, they set it up, you ain't gonna never be able to get back your money, whatever worth your shines is, probably for another 15 years. You might be able to get back. If you bought a chain for 1,000, you might get back $1,000 or less within 10 years. Just a little advice from a man who knows my jewelry, sold jewelry, worn jewelry from a long time. It's nothing but, I don't be buying no jewelry from the mall, I'll tell you that. Let's keep it moving. Okay. 1225429 says WBC is corrupt too. Canelo. Yeah, WBC, they got some day transgressions too. But one thing I do love about the WBC that no other sanctioning body does, when they have their annual convention, wherever it is in the world, whether it's in Turkey or Kazakhstan or South America, wherever they go, they do mandate fights. You know what I mean? They do mandate fights, and they say so and so has to fight so and so. The WBC has mandated Jorge Linares versus what's that guy's name? Adrian Broner at 140 for WBC eliminator. Yo, that's a great fight. I made a video about that. It didn't get too much attention or traction. I don't know about y'all, man, but I love that fight. That looks like a great fight to me. Abner, excuse me. Jorge Linares versus Adrian Broner at 140. Who's the WBC 140-pound champ? It's the Mexican kid from Fresno, Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez versus the winner of AB versus Linares. It's lit, baby. It's lit. Or like my man Yuckmouth from the Loonies be saying, I'm cool. I'm cool. All right, let's keep it moving, man. I'm cool. All right, MBT says, remember when they called a fight the WBA? They called a fight the WBA unification fight. That was probably Leo Santa Cruz versus Abner Maris. Yeah, WBA unification supposed to eliminate one of those belts, or at least the world belt that Maris has. But no, all they did was give it to another fighter, that Filipino dude named Jack somebody. And that Jack guy's pretty good. I seen him fight. I seen him on that Manny Pacquiao undercard versus Matisse, and he's fighting in the next month or so. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. Matter of fact, actually, I can't even say. He might be on ESPN. I don't know which channel he's going to be on. One of Demons Media. Or I realize how to say your name now. One of them ones. Well gone, brethren. He's in the chat. He says, what's up, B. Marsh? What's happening to you? Not one of Demons. One of them ones. Yeah. We Live, Eat, Sleep Boxer says, Tank wearing Floyd chain from the Gaddy press conference. He is. He's still wearing them platinum chains. That was the platinum era. I never understood the platinum era, but I guess guys like Jay-Z tried to make it popular, and they did. At a point in time, people was on their platinum, and I never understood it. Okay, Mr. Doc says to MBT Boxer, remember when they claimed there was going to be tournaments to consolidate the belts? Yeah, I remember that. And that's what me and Naoto was talking about 2, 3 years ago. And I said, I'll see it when I believe it when I see it. And till this day, like Wilder says, they haven't done anything about the WBA belts. You know what I mean? They haven't. The man Murad Gassier beat Lebedev, and Lebedev still kept his WBA belt. You know what I'm saying? NBT says to Mr. Doc, the WBO Barbarian and Fish Eyes was having none of that. Yep, those two guys, they stay in line with the WBO. And Al Heyman, Showtime PBC, not one fighter got a WBO belt. The only WBO guy I remember in recent memory was Peter Quillen. And Peter Quillen even dropped that belt so he don't fight Korobov. Okay. One of them ones says Tank following Broner is probably the worst person to be rolling with. Yeah, man. And Adrian Broner's a leader. He's like the oldest out of that little crew they got. Look, I said it before. I say it again. Tank Davis will be an AB 2.0, and I don't even think this guy Adrian Broner, I'm sorry, Tank Davis, will even. He ain't gonna accomplish everything that the man Adrian Broner has. I don't see him being a 4 different weight class champion. That man too short to be. What is he at 130? What he started at 130? That's where AB started, right? 147. Man, he gonna get knocked out, man. He too small for 147, at least in height stature. You know what I mean? And Shambe Mitchell was a guy who was a short guy. He participated at 147. But he was getting knocked out. He was getting beat up, man. Floyd Mayweather, Paul Williams, those guys beat him up at 147. At 140, he was good. But not at 147. A little too short, man. Okay, where we at? MBT Boxer says Australian dollars, which is just a little over 3 million US, but I reckon they pull a little more for sure. That's great, man. If those guys made 3 million US, that's good for them, especially Mundine. That's why he wants a payday. He wants to fight again. Wow, look at Larry Fitzgerald. Sorry, I'm looking at Red Zone. One hand catch. Larry Fitzgerald still doing it. This guy's, Larry Fitzgerald, man, I've been watching this guy for years, man. And I've seen a lot of wide receivers. Sorry for veering off on a little football talk. I've seen a lot of wide receivers from Terrell Owens, Randy Moss, um, Troy Brown. I've seen a lot of great wide receivers in my lifetime. But the most disciplined guy I ever saw was Jerry Rice, and that's undeniable. There's no debate in that. The second most disciplined, hard-working wide receiver I've seen since watching football from the 80s has been Larry Fitzgerald. This guy's consistent. He ain't a diva. He just comes to work, gets it done. He's going to the Hall of Fame. Man don't even got a Super Bowl, but he's one of the best wide receivers I've ever seen. Let's get back to boxing. Mini Max Boxing, what's up, bro? What's happening, Mini Max? Man, I seen a few of your videos today, man. Good to see you on, man. And I ain't gonna lie, Mini Max Boxing, you growing, man. You growing. You gonna grow up on us on this YouTube, dogs. And we got verification and validation from the videos. You know what I mean? We see you getting older, man. And hey, you're the youngest YouTuber doing the boxing thing, and I always give you your props. Keep it up, man. Don't stop. And I know you like basketball too. You my guy, man. I seen you with Kemba Walker jerseys, Damian Lillard. These are guys I love watching too. So big ups to my man Mini Max Boxing. Big ups. MBT Boxing says if Mundai want to keep fighting, he should fight Sam Solomon for a fourth time or Daniel Gill for a third time. Or even Sakio Biko's been the most ducked Aussie fighter ever. Danny Green ducked Biko big. Hey, those are great fights for Mundai, and especially the Sakio Biko probably beat him, but Sam Solomon, those guys are in the same age range. You know what I mean? They peers. Daniel Gill too. These guys are not world class fighters no more. And all these guys you mentioned are former world champions, from Sakio Bika, Sam Solomon to Daniel Gill. So it'd be excellent for Mundine. He can't be fighting no young dudes like Jeff Horn, man. Jeff Horn might be a school teacher, man, but Jeff Horn ain't about that nice guy stuff in the ring. You seen what he did to Pacquiao. 1224529 says, unfortunately, isn't the playing field isn't even with purses. J.R. Duran, what's up, J.R. Duran? He says, I disagree about Plant versus Uzi. I think Plant wins big, even though Uzi is a bad boy. But we do agree on Rigo. He's still one of my faves, man. Me too, man. Hey, I'm going to always be a Rigo fan. I'm a guy. If you're my guy, I'm going to always like you. I don't care till the wheels fall off. Even after your career, I'm still going to be a fan, you know what I mean? Even if you get knocked out and slept, hey, man, it's part of the game, you know what I mean? It's part of the game. But as far as Plant versus Uzi, I may be wrong. Uzka Tagay, I may be wrong. But hey, man, Caleb Plant ain't fought nobody, dogs. Go look at his resume, man. All those guys he beat, those are guys he's supposed to beat. That's just the truth. Uzka Tagay, what he did to Durrell, ain't nobody ever do that to Durrell. And I consider Durrell a better boxer than Caleb Plant by far. I do. You know what I'm saying? And I picked Uzka Tagay from the first fight to the second. I picked him to beat him. You know what I'm saying? And the second fight, man, he just embarrassed the guy. Durrell quit, man. Durrell brought in Andre Ward trainer, Virgil Hunter. He brought him in this corner, man, and that guy couldn't even do nothing for him, you know what I mean? Look, Caleb Plant, man, he looks good fighting against guys we know he's supposed to beat. Yeah, he beat the man wide on points, Ruggiero, what's his name, Porky Medina, but my guy Oscar Tagay beat him too. You know what I'm saying? So we shall see, man. Hey, I'm confident Uzka Tagay will win, but it's boxing. Anything can happen. I think Uzka Tagay will get it done. This guy's no joke. This guy can crack. You know what I'm saying? He fought Korobov, who's a very good fighter. We seen Korobov this last weekend. Some people even had him winning. I don't think he won. He didn't hit Charlo as much as Charlo hit him. And yeah, he was smashing him with that left hand, power shots all day. But you ain't gonna win a fight with only like 9 jabs. That's what Cannoli had versus Lara, and they gave him the decision. I guess they give the decision to who they want to. You know what I mean? Not the guy who really deserved it. Okie doke. Well, let's go. Let's keep it moving. 1224529 says boxing does what it wants to do. Yes, I just said that exactly. You read my mind exactly. Tax Tack. Big up says B Marsh. What up, OG? What's goody, Tax Tack? Thanks for coming through, big man. Let's see what it is. What you got to say? We live Eat Sleep Boxer says Tank fighting Francisco Bajado. Like a man said. It says Tank fighting Francisco Vajado for the vacated Gully TV morning dribble belts. His next fight. That's the type of fights and belts he wants, man. And then he wants us to say that he's going to be the next pay-per-view star. Look, man. Hey, man. All eyes on Tank Davis. Let him get through Abner Mares. Big fight in Los Angeles. Like I said, Hispanic or Mexican versus African American. They always do well in the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? They always do well. That's just a good matchup. You know what I mean? Let's see what Tank Davis does after Abner Mares. You know what I mean? Because I'm tired of flaming him up. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've been watching him live, like not on TV, like live, and I've seen him in the ring from the DC Armory since 2013, and I wasn't impressed. Last time I seen him fight live with my eyes was on the Adrian Broner versus Ashley Theopain undercard, and that Mexican was touching him up until Tank Davis just started doing leash combinations, power punches. Tax says Fitz an all-time great, no question about it. Fitz a ATG, man. Very humble, man. Dogs. This guy could have retired 6 years ago and he'd still be in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? And this guy's still out there performing, you know what I mean? And like I said, out of all wide receivers I've seen, there's nobody more disciplined than Jerry Rice. That's not debatable. But the second most, and probably on the same level, could be as Jerry Rice is Larry Fitzgerald, no doubt about it. J.R. Durant says, I agree. Caleb has fought 17 rounds, but we all know all good fighters have their coming out party. Yes, we do. This may be his one. I can't wait, though. I'm glad they're fighting. Me too, J.R. Durant. That's one of the best fights on PBC lineup when they announced their lineup about a month ago of the fights they're going to have coming up for 2019. That's the fight that that fight trumps everything the zone has done. You know what I mean? Just that one fight right there. Hey, I'm not biased by no means. Okay? If I was a hater of the apps, which I'm not a fan of, ESPN Plus and the zone, okay? But if it's giving me the boxing that I'd love to see in the good matchups, then I'll have both of them. The ESPN Plus app, man, I've done watched so many fights. I've only had it since last weekend for that Warrington and Frampton card. I done watched so many fights on that ESPN Plus app, 30 for 30 documentaries. I even went back and watched the Len Bias joint just for kicks. All right? And it's $4.99 a month. Man, I already got everything I need to out of the ESPN Plus app. There's so much more. I didn't even get to see what's that white heavyweight's name? Dude fought George Foreman. Dude was in the Rocky movie. What's that guy's name? Died from HIV or complications to HIV. Um, I'm getting a brain freeze right now. The Duke, Tommy the Duke Morrison. I just watched his 30 for 30 on that ESPN Plus app. I never even saw it when it came on TV. That was a great documentary, you know what I mean? So, ESPN Plus app is where it's at, man. It's where it's at. Tax Talk says Gully Haitian Jack interview was fire. Yeah, it was. The man went out to the Dominican, gave us a full glimpse of the man Haitian Jack. Gully TV's vicious, man. I like Gully TV because he puts it on for my city, man. He puts it on out here. You know what I mean? A lot of people, a lot of videos and untold stories out of the D.C. Maryland area, and Gully TV do it better than no other. You know what I mean? And I'm sure a lot of his subscribers or fan base are out of the D.C. and Maryland area, and Virginia too. You check it. Shizbiz says Tank might not make weight. He might not. He struggles to make weight. He does. He's lost a belt like Adrian Broner did, 130-pound belt. He's lost his belt, the same belt AB lost. Not the same sanctioning body, but the same weight class, 130-pound title. The man lost it on the scales. You know what I mean? Who does that? You check it. Jezreel Corrales lost his on the scales when he fought Machado. He wasn't eligible to retain the belt if he did beat Machado, but Machado ain't care nothing about that. Machado knocked out the bigger Jezreel Corrales. Knocked him out. You know? That's what you're supposed to do when you're trying to fight a champion and take his title from him. You know what I mean? Some thought Tony Harrison beat Jamel Charlo. I personally didn't think he did. I like Tony Harrison way more than I do Charlo, but he ain't take that title from me convincingly like you're supposed to, as far as taking it from a world champion. But it is what it is. Hopefully we see a rematch. So yo, B Marsh Boxing, thanks for everybody coming through, participating in the chat. Shizbiz, We Live, Eat, Sleep, Boxing, Tax Tech, JR Duran, 1225429, Minimax Boxing, MBT, Mr. Doc, Dylan Gallagher. I hope I ain't leave nobody out, man. I want to shout out everybody, man. I really appreciate y'all. I didn't even Red Eyes, give up big ups to Red Eyes. I didn't plan on going almost an hour. I just wanted to come flame up this man Tank Davis, and I didn't even mention the stuff he was writing back and forth with Terrence Crawford. I don't need to, because like I said, that man be doing too much, but not enough. B Marsh Boxing, about to seal the deal on this live stream, and I'm up out of here. Peace. Peace to 1225429 and everybody in the chat. I'm gone.